Well, good evening. Welcome to Grover Hill Zion United Methodist Church Thursday evening devotions from around the kitchen table, where we've been talking about various topics and subjects. This coming weekend is a festival weekend, a day of festival. And there'll be a lot of bonfires going on, a lot of people wearing costumes and going door to door and collecting candy, a lot of campfires, partying, bobbing for apples. Those are all part of it. Hay rides, those are all part of a great celebration. And I just want to, before I get into the other thing I wanted to share with you, I just wanted to cover some things about Halloween. There's some things out there, people understand Halloween to be one thing, and other people understand it to be something else. So let me just share with you very briefly. Halloween, some people call it the Devil's Night, but the Devil's Night really is associated with October 30th, not October 31st, which is Halloween. Should Christians celebrate Halloween? There's really no pressure to participate in Halloween. If you choose to, okay. If you choose not to, okay. If your discernment wants you to abstain, that's fine. But it's more associated with a harvest festival, as we understand things. Halloween originated it's really a matter of words that means All Hallows Eve, which means hallowed evening. And the history dates back then to a pagan festival called Samhain. And hundreds of years ago, people dressed up as saints and went door to door, which was the origin of Halloween costumes or trick-or-treating today, or so they say. And you can do your own research on that. I only just researched a little bit here, and who knows? Other people will write other things. The Christian origin and historic customs is said to have come from or to have its roots in Christian beliefs and practices from the English word which comes from All Hallows Eve, as I mentioned a moment ago, meaning All Hallows, or it's the evening before All Hallows Day, which is All Saints Day, which is a day that we remember the saints in the previous year. And that's celebrated on November 1st. So it's Halloween or Hallows Eve, which is the evening before All Saints Day, or All Souls Day, as it's sometimes called, All Saints Day. Well, I hope that enlightens you in one way or another. So you don't condemn those that do celebrate it. I'm not trying to get you to celebrate it or not to celebrate it. I just thought I'd just provide that for information. But anyway, the thing that got me thinking about Halloween the other day and what's going to happen, pumpkins are already all over the place, aren't they? Everywhere we go, there's pumpkins. I go for a walk in the morning and people have a dozen pumpkins on their front porch in some places. So there was a story that was produced or told several years ago, and about a lady who had been baptized, and then she was asked by a co-worker what it was like to be a Christian, and she replied, well, being a Christian's a lot like being a pumpkin. God picks you from the patch. He brings you in and washes all the dirt off of you that you've got from being out in the field and from other pumpkins. And then he cuts the top off and he reaches down inside and he scoops out all that yucky stuff, the seeds and all that junk that's in there. He removes the seeds of hate and greed and anger and slander and doubt and all of those things that God doesn't like, but those are things that mess us up on the inside too, and make us feel bad. And then what he does, he carves a smiling face on you, and he puts a light on the inside to shine for all of the world to see. That kind of a neat picture. I'd carve a pumpkin up for you, but I don't. I'm not going to do it here on the kitchen table. And you couldn't see it very well anyway. But think about it. Now, you're not a pumpkin, but all of us are something like one. For instance, God picks you from the patch, and he brings you in, and he washes all the dirt off of you that you may have gotten from other pumpkins or from other people. The pumpkin is like us in a way, you could say. It has an outside and an inside. The outside is what people see. The inside is like our soul or our heart. A pumpkin left to itself will soon die and rot. We too will one day die. But when we die, we can be with Christ for eternity. Well, you know, the pumpkin on the inside, and I hope you can see that, it's not very good, but if you look to the left of your screen there, the top's been removed, but all that yucky stuff that's inside of us, that's all the junk that we sometimes carry around on the inside of us. That's the stuff that God removes from us. And that's what people, they don't see us on the inside, but when they look at us and they look at our actions, they see on the outside the reflection of what is on the inside of us. The hearts of men are just full of evil, and there's madness in their hearts while they live. And that's according to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 3, written by Solomon. So how can we get rid of all that yucky stuff that's on the inside of us? How can we get rid of that junk so that we can feel better? Well, God is the only way that can change our heart. But in order for God to change our heart, we must become open to him. Revelations chapter 3, verse 20, Jesus says, "Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with them, and he with me." And if you look to the right of your screen, you can see the top is being removed in order to get to all that junk. When the top's removed, Jesus will come in to your life, and he'll take rid of and get rid of all that junk that's inside of you, and he'll turn you into a new person, into a new creation. Well, God scoops out all that yucky stuff, as I said a moment ago, that's inside of us, and he removes the seeds of doubt and hate and impurity and greed and all kinds of things like that, all those seeds about that. And think about that. We talk about the yucky stuff in us, but it was at the cross that Jesus was willing to become messy, that yucky stuff for us, to accept it upon himself, so that we could be clean, that we might be clean, washed in his blood, the guilt and the sin and the shame gone. He says, "I will cleanse you from all your impurities, from all of your idols. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. And I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws." That comes from Ezekiel chapter 36, chapter 25 through 27. Well, if we have a pumpkin with just the insides taken out, we just have a hollow shell, don't we? A hollow shell of a pumpkin. Or if we just remove everything from us, we have just a hollow shell of a person. We need to have a light inside of us. We need to have something filling us up to make us truly feel alive. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. When Jesus lives inside of you, you can glow. And it's just like when he's taking all that out, he puts that smile on your face and makes your face light up. He puts that light inside of you so that you can glow for all the world to see. You'll want to be kind and honest. You will want to please God, to help others, and to tell other people about your friend and Lord Jesus Christ and what he's done in your life and is doing in your life and how he makes you feel. But God calls you or carves you into a new person, and he puts this smiling face on you, and he puts his light inside of you so that his light inside of you will shine forth for all the world to see. And again, you will become a new creation. Well, I just thought I'd share that with you. I thought it was that story is kind of a neat perspective as to Halloween. Have a great and blessed week.